Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Zulhaiga bin Abdul Aziz. Today, my friends and me will tell you about cannabinoid drugs. So, what is cannabinoid drugs? Cannabinoids are compounds that make up the plant hemp and marijuana. There are three types of cannabinoid drugs that are familiar. The first one is tetrahydrocannabinol (THC). The second one is marijuana, and the third one is cannabidiol, we call CBD. It provides the popular high, such as height at the body and height at the head. This drug has the short-term and long-term effect that can cause dangerous to our health. The World Anti-Doping Agency (WADA) include cannabis in its prohibit list in 2004 because cannabis can improve the performance in some sport. So it is not fair to the other athletes that not take these drugs. This is the example of cannabinoid drugs. This is the marijuana plant and the rest is cannabinoid drugs. So we go to the sport event of the case. Do you know who is him? He is Ross Ribagliati. I will tell you further about him at the next slide. Ross Ribagliati was born in Vancouver, British Columbia and represent Canada as Canadian snowboarder. He was the first ever to win an Olympic gold medal for men's snowboarding at the 1998 Winter Olympic. After the event, he tested positive for cannabinoids and was stripped for his gold medal. This decision was eventually overturned that marijuana was not in list of banned substance, and Ribagliati was given back the gold medal. The next day, he appeared on the Tonight Show with Jay Leno and became an instant icon to many globally. After that, THC has since been listed by the World Anti-Doping Agency (WADA) as a banned substance.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Shakir Ahmad Miramli, and now I'm going to present my slide, which is the first one is how cannabinoid can provide advantage. The first one is help with inflammation and pain. When athletes get a serious swelling during games or tournament and need to overcome the problem, they can consume the cannabinoid to help with the injury. And the second one is regulate the fatigue. Athletes will use cannabinoid to avoid muscle fatigue so they can perform well in a game and a tournament. Other than that, the third one is relieve physical mental exhaustions. This is related with the second point, which is regulate fatigue. Why? Because when athlete fatigue can be solved, it can make the athlete relieve on their physical and mental exhaustions. The last one is increase focus and performance. Cannabinoid can help athlete alertness and awareness increase, so that can lead the athlete increase focus and performance. Now let's move to the second slide, which is the biochemistry of cannabinoids. For cannabinoids, there is at least 113 cannabinoids, but the most famous is THC and CBD. What is THC? THC is tetrahydrocannabinol, and for the CBD is cannabidiol. And what is the difference between CBD and THC? First one, we look at the chemical structure. On the chemical structure, it's almost it looks same, but there is slightly a little bit difference on the chemical structure. For the THC, there is monoxide. Meanwhile, for the CBD, they use hydroxide, and the others is same. And then THC is a psychoactive, a component that is used for moods and consciousness, while the CBD is a non-psychoactive component that is usually used for an active antibacterial. For THC, it is an illegal drug and cannot be used during for sports. while CBD, there is certain CBD that can be used especially for preventing inflammations and to cover the pains the athlete feels. So it is illegal for an athlete. Next, THC is high for then is used to be high because it can cause anxiety, while CBD is not an high chemical because it can release an anxiety. Now let's move to the movement of actions of the cannabinoids. But first, let's have a look on this video first.
What do you really know about cannabis? Well, yes, that too. But did you know that cannabis has been used as a medicinal plant since the dawn of human history? That the medicinal use of cannabis gradually waned as opiates became more widespread? Closer to our own times, Raphael Mechoulam isolated and synthesized one of the main active components of the plant. The cannabinoid THC followed shortly afterwards by CBD. He discovered that this organic compound has the incredible ability of connecting molecularly with certain receptors housed in many of the cells in our body. This cannabinoid has sometimes been dubbed the key to a molecular padlock. By connecting the CB1 and CB2 receptors, cannabinoids act as chemical messengers. Mechoulam and his team wondered why there was a specific receptor in our bodies for this type of molecule. In 1992, a cannabinoid was finally located that is secreted naturally by our body. It was called anandamide. Subsequently, another similar molecule was discovered, also in our organism, which was called 2-AG. And it was discovered too that anandamide forms part of a wider system of intercellular communication in our bodies. This previously unknown system is known as the endocannabinoid system, and it is closely associated to our body's self-regulating processes, such as control of temperature and pH. It is involved in many different aspects, including motor coordination, neuroprotection, pain control, or appetite, among others. The endocannabinoid system helps maintain the complex balance between the different biological functions, a process known as homeostasis. THC and CBD are two of over 100 cannabinoids produced by the plant. The discovery of cannabinoids has opened up a new field in the research of the processes that regulate our organism. We know that some cannabinoids have therapeutic applications, which make them very useful in the treatment of pain, cancer, or HIV. Cannabis has been part of human life for thousands of years and has tremendous properties beyond its mere recreational use. Its key role for our understanding of the endocannabinoid system and its special relationship with the chemistry of our body makes it unique, and there is still much to be discovered.
Okay, after watching the video, we already know that cannabis has been used since the ancient time for medical and treatment, and the THC and CBD has been found by Raphael Mechoulam, and these two component is used as a active messenger by connecting the CB1 and CB2 receptor, and they found a similar molecule which is the anandamide and 2-AG in 1992. These two molecules form wider system intracellular communication in our body. This system has been known as endocannabinoid system, and it helps us on body self-regulating process such as control body temperatures and pH systems, and it's also help us on motor coordinations, neuroprotections, and pain control, on also appetite. These endocannabinoids is helping maintain our complex balance between different biological functions, or also known as homeostasis.
Hi, my name is Nur Nabila Bidarwan. So today I would like to continue on the next slides, which is on what sample needed to know what is cannabinoid testing. what sample? So basically, we have marijuana test. In marijuana test, commonly use the urine test as a sample needed. But in the many doping tests, they use like saliva, sweat, or blood. But we use urine test as the most accurate. So it will be a urine test for the first one, and if you tested positive, if you know want to test it positive, it will go on by cannabinoid screening. So if you tested positive in cannabinoid, it will contain 50 nanograms milliliter, more than 50 nanograms milliliter in your urine test. So it will know as you tested positive. So we continue to the next slides on how the sample measure, how the cannabinoids it measure. So first thing first, the cannabinoids measure by depends on who is doing the testing. So when the sample is we have the sample, so the healthcare will provide to to send to the lab for the testing. So it depends on who is doing the testing. It will be if the accuracy is high, so it depends on how they do the test. And next is the lab will test for THCA, which is tetrahydrocannabinol acids, and tetrahydrocannabinol, and report the total potency. The total potency means the total sum of the potency of the urine, the cannabinoid is high or not. And next is the important goals of the cannabis testing is ruggedness and repeatability along with the quantitative accuracy, which is it basically for the point is it will measure by the quantity. So as I said before in the previous slides, the total of if you test positive, it will THC in your urine will be more than 50 nanograms per milliliter. So it will be tested positive. And next is lastly, your screening test will be it will be on the ranging from high performance liquid chromatography, HPLC with ultraviolet, UV, and detected the plus time of light mass spectrometry. It's all about the lab test. The lab test, so it one of the approaches to the company or vendors that lab tests use for the test for doping test. So for the infrequent users of cannabinoid, it will be like 3 to 5 days. It will be the screening. The result will be out. And for the hard user, it will be on the 1 to 15 days result. So, as from the result from the doping cases, there are many such effects of the doping cases. First, in health consequences. Health consequences divide by two, which is on physical and mental. On physical, can be severe according to their what type of drug that they take. Like cannabinoid, in this case, it used to enhance performance. If they take too much, it will give effect that it will be not fair to other athletes because they are using substances that can increase their performance. And if they take too much also, they will lead to life threatening. And for mental, is can impair their mind or anxiety or hallucinations. And we move to the social consequences. The social consequences giving the bad image to the athletes. Like when they have a title in the international level, it will give the bad image to them. The people will judge them based on their doping cases. And we move to the financial consequence. And for example, like if the sponsor have to be refunded and prize like money or medal, or even they get a gold medal or silver, bronze, they will get to return. In these cases, the Rose need to return the gold medal to the organizer, which is Japan in Olympic 1998. And lastly, on legal consequences. Legal consequences means that the athlete that have doping cases, they will ban from the competition. They will get removed from the competition automatically. As a conclusion, in this case of all the international athletes should be prepared if have any possibility that drug that you use to enhance your performance that can be illegal in your sports or in the Olympic events. So in this case, in Japan Olympic 1998, so it will be the cannabinoids is as the legal drug at first, but how it becomes the illegal for the sports, maybe for the sports. So you should keep adapting from time to time. So it also affects this type of drug also affect like second-hand smokers. Like it can be transferred, the drugs can be transferred from the maybe from the saliva or the smoke. So if you want to use as an athlete, you want to do drugs as to enhance your performance, you should know which drug is legal and illegal in sports. So that's all from my groups, which is cannabinoid drugs from today.